So let me start off, Sadhguru, by asking you that you probably are the biggest multitasker that I have met in my life. You are into sharing wonderful things with people, millions of people, and you find the time to play golf, and you ride a motorcycle like a champion. I don't know what all you do. How do you manage your time?
That last thing was not a good thing. I don't know what all you do, it's not a good thing.
No, that is a sense of amazement. And there are people who are very busy people, and so we believe we are very busy people. We would like to know as to how you manage your time and what is the kind of advice you would like to give us so that life beyond work is a lot more meaningful, at least a little more meaningful than what we lead, a little closer to the kind of meaningful life that you.
From what I observe from people, as I travel more and more, meet various kinds of people in business, academics, science, and regular people all over the world, what I see is most people in the 24 hours that we have per day, they're more preoccupied than busy. That is, their own thoughts and their own emotions are such a big issue that most of their time is spent dealing with that. They may be working, but in their work, a lot of struggles are within themselves. If you are in any kind of sport or any creativity, you would know that a little struggle means your ball will go somewhere else, your ragam, thalam will go somewhere else, your painting will go somewhere else, nothing will happen properly. Or in other words, what could happen very simply, unfortunately happens with lots of difficulty. This is mainly because they have been given a phenomenal gadget or a phenomenal machine, which is the human mechanism, above all, a phenomenal dimension called the mind. They are trying to operate this phenomenal machine or a gadget or a computer, if you'd like to call it, without reading the user's manual. Every day struggling with their own stuff, and it doesn't get solved before they're 20 or something. Till their last day on their deathbed, they're still struggling with the same things, their thoughts and their emotions. If they learn to sort this out very early in their life, I'm sure they can work half the number of hours that they're working and be a lot more productive than the way they are right now. My effort is to bring this possibility to people's lives, that you can live life with ease, not with struggle. One thing is, when we say work, it's many young people, wonderful people who are getting recognized for whatever wonderful things they have done, leaving them apart, but generally work means always been… people have been taught that they must work hard. Nobody told them they must work joyfully. Nobody told them their work should be an expression of their joy or their love. They have to work hard. If you work hard, life will be tedious. How else will it be? You will do something hard only because you don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it, you would do it with ease. So without learning how to do something, if we try to do it, without investing enough time in perception, if life is all expression, then life becomes a big struggle. Most people are not doing anything except earning a living, maybe reproducing and dying one day. Nothing more. They may believe they're doing many things, but this is all they're doing. Eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying one day. That is such a big fuss. Every other creature is able to do this, from an earthworm to an insect to anything and anything. Everybody is doing this. They all earn their own living, they eat, they sleep, they reproduce and they die. With 1/1,000,000th of our brain, they're able to do it. With this big brain, human beings are struggling not with the things that they're doing, they're struggling with the brain itself. Their own intelligence has become a serious problem. What is the biggest boon in our life? What is the greatest benefaction in our life, which is our intelligence? This has become a problem because they don't know how to hold it, they don't know how to use it, constantly it works against themselves. When I say it works against you, people may call all kinds of names, may use all kinds of words to describe this. They may call it stress, they may call it tension, they may call it misery, they may call it depression, they may call it anxiety, they may call it madness. Essentially, it's your intelligence turned against you. Your intelligence is not working for you, it's working against you. So my fundamental work is this, that at least your body and your mind should work for you. Nobody else may work for you, it doesn't matter. At least your body and your intelligence must work for you. If this one thing happens, you living blissfully, gracefully, effectively is a natural consequence.
Here we are at the land's end. This is the longest highway in the country. This is the only highway in the country which comes to a dead end like this. Here we are at the tip of Indian Peninsula, and you see Indian Ocean, the glorious Indian Ocean, which has been the crucible of maritime history of this world, and in many ways spawned many civilizations in this region. The Rally for Rivers is starting from this iconic place. This is significant because this is the base of our nation, this is the root of India. Here we are, from here is the rally. We drove yesterday from Coimbatore, today from Madurai. Quite a blistering pace for everybody. But we are here going to Vivekananda Rock, this iconic place. And from here on, after today's event, in the night, we are driving to Thiruvananthapuram, entering God's own country. It's my wish that the entire nation, the whole of Bharat, becomes God's own country. Thank you very much. When we say health, if someone says you have no ailment, it does not mean you're healthy. When you wake up in the morning, are you feeling alive and bouncy or not? The word health comes from the word whole. You must have a certain sense of wholeness of body, mind, energy and the fundamental nature of your existence. If all these things are in alignment, now when you wake up in the morning, you feel like you're just born. If this happens to you, that means you're healthy. One simple thing all you girls can do is just bring 40 to 50% of the food in its raw form, that means it's alive. It must be a live cell, it can be a vegetable, it can be a fruit, it can be a nut, it can be sprouted gram. At least 40 to 50%, the food that you eat must be alive. You eat dead food and you want to live, this is a little difficult thing to do, because you have to raise the dead now. When you cook the food, to digest the food, all the ingredients necessary for digestion are not in the body alone. The food also brings these enzymes. When you cook the food, you are largely destroying these enzymes. Minus the enzymes when you eat, now the body has to struggle to reconstruct that part that has been destroyed, and then only it can digest.
Normally first 1.5 hours after eating, it tends to take the body down. After that slowly, it recovers. Have you noticed? So food is for energy, but we are making the food in such a way that it takes away energy in the first 1.5 hours. Only after that, slowly, it comes back. Anyway, however good your digestive process is, still you can never reconstitute all the enzymes that we have destroyed by cooking. Only partly we can do that. If your digestive process is very strong and good, you reconstitute about 40 to 50% of what's been destroyed. If it is a little timid kind of digestion, it's much less. So whichever way, if you're eating cooked food, 50 to 60% of the food that you're eating is generally going waste. But the body has to still process that. And the amount of energy that it spends and the amount of trauma that it goes through is very big.
Food means many things to many people, but essentially for the body, it's the fuel. If you put the right kind of fuel, this will be on in a certain way. If you put the wrong kind of fuel, somehow it will manage. I'm not telling you eat this way, eat that way, just experiment and see, all right? Just experiment and see. Tonight if you go, instead of eating whatever cooked food, just eat fruits and see, tomorrow morning you will not need an alarm bell, you will wake up before the alarm bell. And you will see all these eyes will not be sticking like this, like that, you wake up, instantly you're bright and alert. People do not know what it means to be at absolute ease within their body. 95% of the people do not know this, unfortunately. Because you put the wrong kind of fuel, you can keep this body like breeze. Simply, it goes ahead of you, you don't have to drag it wherever you go. It must float ahead of you. You can do this, just putting the right kind of fuel. There are very few human beings, no matter what is the situation, they will be who they are. We must see this. I was talking in another town starting with N, in Andhra Pradesh. I'm speaking in Nellore to a large group of school students. And then I say, okay, I'll take some questions. One little girl, 14-year-old girl, stands up and she says, Sadhguru, they are saying Rama walked from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka. Is it practical that somebody can walk from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka, or is it just a story? Then I look at her and say, see, you are still a young girl. After a few years, you will find a man. When you find your man, do you want that kind of a man that if you get lost, he will walk all the way? Or he will think this is not practical and find a practical solution in his neighborhood? What kind of a man do you want? Well, even the little girl knows what kind of a man she wants. Now, why this question I'm bringing this up is, I want you to listen to this carefully, not reacting all the bhaktas. Rama's life is a disaster, a continuous disaster. King born as a prince, coronated as a king, just married with his young wife, some political stuff, ends up in the jungle. Living in the jungle, some television show may be showing it as some kind of a romantic affair, okay? Living in the jungle is not a romantic affair, believe me. I have individually, by myself, I've lasted in the jungle for weeks on end by myself, eating out of the jungle. After 3-4 weeks when I came out into the town, people wouldn't recognize me. That's how it would be. So with a young wife, she's not a tribal woman, she's a princess. Living with her in the jungle is not a romantic affair, it's a tough life. Knowing that it's very difficult, his brother also follows him to assist both of them because he knows what will he do with this young woman in the jungle. Then as if that was not enough, his wife gets kidnapped, Sri Lanka. And then, because the wife means so much to him, he walks all the way, despondent, not a nice trek, not knowing whether she is alive or dead or what has happened to her. He walks down all the way, builds up a Tamil army, goes across, burns down a beautiful city, kills many people, gets back his wife, goes home. Now the wife is pregnant, no sonogram. So he doesn't know whether it's a boy or a girl or boys or girls or what. This is important for a king. For a king, it's very important that he has a son because it has to continue. But then once again some political situation, he sends his fully pregnant wife to the jungle. She goes there, delivers 2 boys, he doesn't know. And then he gets into a battle with his own children. If at all, if there can be a true disaster in your life, in anybody's life, knowingly or unknowingly you killed your own children, this is the worst thing that can happen to you. It almost happened to him. He almost killed them. Somehow, by fate, whatever situation, he did not kill them, he almost killed them. He did his best to kill them without knowing who they are. Then Sita dies without ever seeing him again. You call this a successful life? No. But we worship him. Why do you worship a failure like this? Because no matter what disasters happened, the man did not become angry, hateful. He did not lose his balance. He maintained his balance 100%. He did not give up any of the values and ethics with which he lived. A continuous disaster, a serial disaster he is, but unmoved, untouched. It is this quality that we are bowing down to. We are not bowing down to him because he's a super success. He's a super failure, but within himself, do what you want. You cannot take away who he is. One of these incidents that happen in his life happened to most people, they would all be cracked up. Yes or no? Just one of these disasters happened in people's lives, they will crack up in their mind. Serial disasters, but total balance. We are bowing down to that quality because this is inner management. If you go out to do things in the world, you cannot control what the world will throw at you. But what you make out of it is 100% yours. You wouldn't mind stepping into any situation, facing anything in the world because you are in a blissful chemistry. Rama is in a peaceful chemistry. No matter how many troubles you throw at him, similarly, if you have blissful chemistry, no matter how much nonsense somebody throws at you, you're blissful.
If something in you became quieter, clearer, or maybe even more restless after this video, then it was already worth it. Let us know what you felt, tell us your city, and if you can, subscribe and send it to someone who would appreciate this too. These little actions help the message go further. Thank you, Big Hug, and see you in the next video.